I have voted, though. I am pleading with you, especially Christians, men of God, children of God, please don't stay at home. Go out there and vote. The last election, the statistics shows that over 35 million Christians did not vote. Why? Because neither candidates, meet their standard. If the Christians stay at home and refuse to vote because no candidate meets their criteria or their standard in this election, the unbelievers, the people without godly value, will vote into power their own candidate, the candidate of their choice. The church is not getting more political, but the politicians are getting more spiritual. The politicians, the elected government officials who we have hired to represent us, they have moved from building roads, building bridges, building economy, issuing driver's license, providing health care, providing healthy education, protecting the environment and the public, reprimanding the lawless. They have moved from that to redefining marriage and redefining family, to erasing gender, to switching gender identity. They have moved from that to using our taxpayer money to fund transgender surgery, to teaching our kids how to change their gender identity without the permission of their parents. They are reframing abortion as reproductive right or woman's right or woman's health care. Using our taxpayer money to fund the killing of innocent unborn babies. Using the government schools to indoctrinate our children about sexuality and sodomy. The church is not becoming political, but the politicians who we have elected to represent us are becoming more spiritual. That means they are not truly representing us well. Here is our take in this election as citizens of the United States of America. It is our responsibility as a constitutional republic to stand firm on our values, especially as children of God, as heads of God's kingdom, as citizens of God's kingdom. We need to stand firm on God's principles and God's values and refuse to allow our elected politicians to destroy our heritage and the legacy which we are leaving for our offspring. We live in a constitutional republic, and in a constitutional republic, the politicians or the elected officials are the representative of the people. We, the people, have the power to either hire them or fire them. So if the elected government officials are the representative of the people, who are the leaders of the nation? The people, of course. We are the leaders of the nation. The people are the leaders, not the representative, not the elected officials. We, the people, are the leaders of the country. So if we abdicate our right to lead, we should not complain that things are going wrong in our nation. Last election, statistics shows that over 35 million Christians did not vote. Yet, the deciding vote was less than 8 million. Here is the thing. If the godly people refuse to lead their country through voting, the godless people will. And that is what has been happening since. Christians don't go and vote. Unbelievers go and vote. And of course, they vote their candidate. And then they rule over us. And we are complaining, Antichrist, end time. No, the church have abdicated their authority, their responsibility, and their freedom to the godless, the perverted generation. Now we are complaining. If you don't vote in the election, you don't have a right to complain about anything, about how the government is going bad. Bible says in book of Proverbs, when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. When the righteous in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn and groan. Is that what we want? Do we want our people to rejoice, or do we want our people to mourn and groan? If you don't vote, you are abdicating your leadership position, your authority, and your responsibility in this constitutional republic that you are in, that God has allowed you to come into. You are abdicating it to godless people. And this is in direct stance of a passive rebellion against God. If you refuse to lead your family Aren't you rebelling against God? It's an abdicating to take authority and responsibility and lead your family is in direct rebellion against God. So if you refuse to lead in this election, if you refuse to take your leadership position, you are in direct rebellion against God. If you refuse to lead your church and abdicate your authority and your responsibility to government officials, to elected government officials, it is direct rebellion against God. So neither should you abdicate your authority and your responsibility in your family to government officials. They are your representative. You are the one leading. You are the one in leadership position. The reason many Christians don't vote is that they are looking for a perfect candidate. A candidate without blame or fault. So, since neither candidate meets their standard, so I will not go out and vote. Please, we are not voting personalities. We are voting policies. Personalities come and go, but policies remain. We may not necessarily like the personality. I once voted for a charismatic personality who came into power and endorsed and sanctioned and validated sodomy. I felt so bad. I felt like vomiting. You don't have to like the person. If the person stands for what is right, then he or she is your candidate and should get your vote. You may not like the person. You may like the person, but if the person stands for what is wrong, what is unbiblical, what is abomination in the sight of God, that is not your candidate. Even though you like the person, you shouldn't give that person your vote. The world's heritage you and I can leave for our children, can leave behind for our offspring, is a bad government, a bad policy, and a bad environment. If you don't go out to vote, you are doing just that. Please, fellow Americans, don't abdicate your freedom by not voting this time. Go and choose a person that represents your interest and conviction. Someone said that wicked and corrupt politicians were elected by good people who refuse to vote. Please don't elect bad politicians by not voting. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. God help us to take our leadership position and responsibility very seriously this time and hire the right people to represent us in Washington, D.C. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.